Welcome to the e-license initial registration walkthrough. I'm Desiree Bell. Just wanted to do a quick tutorial on it will look like from the user's end. So, as you can see on my screen, you will see two sides. So you'll see the existing user, and then on the other side, you'll see new user to the e-license portal. And since I am a new user, I've never used e-license before, I will be selecting don't have a license. So you'll see my mouse highlight have a license, and it's giving the system a little bit to think about it. So it takes you to this screen, says create a new account. I don't have a license, so I'm going to put in some information that I created on my own. Okay. Social Security number. This is very important for you to make sure that you do type your Social Security number. My date of birth. Okay, and my email address. So you will be asked twice to confirm your email. And then you have to create a password. Now, when it comes to you creating your password, please make sure that you follow the guidelines as it states. So your password must contain 10 or more characters, one being uppercase, one being lowercase letter, and one number, and as well as a special character. That special character could be either a dollar symbol, a percentage symbol, an at, or a number symbol. So I'm going to select my password. And make sure that your password matches, because if it does not match, you cannot move on to the next screen. And then down below, you will see that check this box where it says, I am not a robot. If you do not check this off as well, you will not be able to proceed to the next page. So before you proceed, you can see there's the Social Security number confirmation. So please, it's very important that you could confirm this. If you do need to edit it, you select the edit button and you'll have an opportunity to edit your Social Security number. So I'm going to confirm that this Social Security number is correct. Okay. So as you can see, we are on the next page of the application. And so we are going to apply for a new license. So you see that my mouse cursor is over the apply for a new license. And just before I proceed on, I just want to let you know this is the testing environment, but just because this is a testing environment, this is what in the real environment. So I just wanted to put that out there. So I'm going to select apply for a new license. Give it a second for it to think about it. And then it moves to this next section, which is called the license selection. So you are going to select a board. And in this case, you're going to select Ohio Mental Health and Addiction Services or Mental Health and Addiction Services. And then you're going to select the license that you are applying for. So as of right now, we are offering only certified peer recovery supporter. So that's the license that you're going to apply for. So you select that. Again, it's certified peer recovery supporter. Then select an application type. The application type in this situation is going to be examination type only. And so once you select the examination type, you will see that the screen asks additional questions. 18 years old, it's important that you are in this situation. Are you an individual living with direct experience? You select yes. Are you currently on probation or parole? So if it's yes, then you have to explain. But in this situation, we are going to select no. And then do you hold a high school diploma or general education development known as a GED or the equivalent from another country? So I am going to select yes, that I do have my high school diploma. And then here you will see the application instructions. It tells you step by step, basically what is expected of you, what documentation is needed. And then if you need to know additional items, you are more than welcome to visit our site. It will take you directly to our peer supporter page. So you don't have to worry about going through our main page to find our direct link. So this is the link information. So you're going to scroll down, and I'm going to say that I understand the directions. And if for some reason I do not, then I email Ohio Peer Certification. So I'm going to save and continue. Okay, so the new license application, and before we proceed, you will see this grayish black bar that shows your progress. So right now we are under personal information, and you see that we're almost kind of like halfway through. So as you can see, most of the information has already been pre-typed based off of our registration earlier on the very first page. So you can see that your social security number is already selected, already typed, and as well as your email. So you don't have to retype your email, but you do need to submit your telephone number. I entered my telephone number, and the reason why I say you have to enter your telephone number, because you see this asterisk. Asterisk usually means that that is a required field that you must answer. So you cannot skip over the section, and if you do, you won't be able to proceed to the next page. So I scroll down. I don't have other number, and if you're more than welcome to put in another number if you choose so, but it's not required. So I'm going to proceed to the next required question, which says, what is your U.S. residency status related to your employment? So I am a United States citizen. And then you scroll down, you have to give your, if you're Hispanic or Latino, and I cannot emphasize this enough, if you do try to apply through your cell phone or another, like a tablet, you might have some difficulty being able to successfully submit your application. So we do encourage you to use a laptop or desktop to apply for your license. So, and especially with this area, because this area we're about your race and ethnicity, for some reason, the cell phones are not able to understand your choice selection, and sometimes your choice selection does not carry over to this little box here known as the chosen section. So please be cognizant of that. So in this situation, I am not Hispanic or Latino, so I'm going to move my mouse cursor over to this arrow that has the right, it's pointing to the right. So I'm going to point to the right and say no. Now, if that isn't a mistake, I'm going to highlight my choice of no and select this arrow that's pointing towards the left, which will put my choice back under the available tab. So I'm going to click this left arrow so you can see that. But in this situation, I'm going to stick with my choice of no and click the right arrow. So I'm going to proceed to the next section as to whereas what race do I consider myself? I consider myself African American, and I'm going to select the right button. And as you can see, the African American is underneath the chosen field. So I proceed to my languages, and I am going to select that I speak English. And then you can also put down more than one language. As you can see, it can fit into this field, as well as with race as well. If you're mixed with more than one, you're more than welcome to put that under there as well. So I just wanted to let you know that it's not, you don't just have to select one and it's absolute. Now, with the Spanish and Latino section, I believe, well, you can do that too. But in this case, just to be safe, with the Latino or Spanish origin, if you know for certain that you are not of that origin, keep it at no. So I'm going to enter my home zip code. And then here we go down to the additional information area. So in this additional information area, as you can see, I'm going to say I'm from Alabama. And my employment status, right now, I'm going to select actively working in a position that does not require this license. So I'm going to select this. Now, if you do select the first choice under employment status where it says actively working in a position that requires this license, you will be required to enter additional fields, meaning that you will have to say like how much direct services that you're doing, and it's in percentages, and those percentages must total to 100%. And so that can be a little confusing. And so just out of precaution and just for to make things easy and clear, I'm going to select actively working in a position that does not require this license. So the next question asks, which of the following best describes your 5-year employment plan? So my 5-year employment plan is to just maintain my practice hours as is. And the next question is, are you currently employed in the US? I'm going to select yes. So here it's asked for you to license mailing address. So you have to add this license in your mailing address. And I don't need to do address one. Okay. And make sure you select the county as well. And so all 88 counties are in here, so you don't have to worry about wondering if your county is in here. And so I'm going to select save. And we're going to validate this address. Give the system a moment to think about it. Okay. So it's successful in our system. So when I go over here with license public address, please make sure that you check off make it public. And this is just for the purpose of if your employer wants to look up your license and confirm it. Most times it's going to show the zip code and show your license along with your license number. So it's not, and just to assure you, this information is not just everyone will be accessing this information on e-license for just any reason. It's mostly for your employer and or employment purposes. But make sure that you do select this check area under public, because if not, you will not be able to move on to the next section. So where it says military services, it says, have you served in the military? So I'm going to select yes in this situation. And then if it says, if you answered yes, are you currently serving in the military? So I'm going to select no. And then it says, has your spouse served in the military? I am going to say no and no. And let's see what happens. Give the system a moment to think about it. And we proceed over to the education section. So this section, I'm going to put a disclaimer out. With the peer recovery support, licensure, you are only required to have your high school diploma or your GED. If you do have additional education outside of high school, then you are more than welcome to add that to the education history on this page. But if you decide to say, if you don't know that that you have to add a university, if you add your high school here and that's all the education that you have, you will not be able to proceed on to the next page. So I just want to make you aware of that. This page, again, is optional. As same thing with license verification. License verification is only if you were licensed as a peer supporter in another state, and then reciprocity is. And I just wanted to put that out there. And so I'm going to move on to the next page. And as you can see, my black and gray area is showing my progress. So I'm in the background section now, but I should proceed to the questions after I select save and continue. And you can also, if say, for example, if you have to stop for some reason, you can save and finish later. But in this situation, we're going to save and continue. Okay, so now I'm here in the question area. It asks, have you been granted pardon or certificate, meaning CQE, continuing of qualification for employment? I'm going to select yes. And then do you have any disqualifying offenses? No. And then have you ever held a peer supporter certificate in any other country in the United States? No, I have not. And then it says, do you require accommodations, special accommodations to take the exam? But some people may. And then, were you educated outside the United States? I'm going to select no. I am a U.S. citizen or lawfully admitted to the U.S. I'm going to say yes. And then, how are you applying for the peer supporter certificate? So I'm not going to do based off of work experience. I'm going to do based off of training. And so if I select training, you see this window appears. It says, did you attend a OhioMHAS approved peer support training? I'm going to select yes. And then I'm also going to select yes as an individual who has personal experience with mental health. And I'm going to select no for a personal lived experience for substance use disorder. And so here, the last area, we ask that you please describe your recovery journey. So let's see, if I select save and continue, give the system a little minute to think. Okay, I cannot move on without describing my recovery journey. Oh, I stand corrected. But you can choose, I will say this, you can choose to share your recovery journey. That's totally up to you. There is no character limit. And this is not, it's our secured e-license system on the back office end. So this would not be accessible to your employer, to individuals that are living in the community. That will stay in our area. So as you can see in this area here, we have to do our attachments and our attestations. So the first area shows the certification of qualification and pardons. If you haven't granted pardon or certificate of qualification, you can. So I'm going to attach a random document. In just a second. And as you can see, I know that my document has attached because you see on the left-hand side the title of my document. And if for some reason, I don't want this document to attach, there's a little trash can symbol that I can select to delete it. Upload your proof for training. So this is the OhioMHAS 40-hour in-person training. So that certificate that you receive, you're going to upload that as well. But I'm going to upload the same document out of convenience for time purposes. And then the background and FBI check. Under the new rule, all individuals who are applying for the certified peer recovery support will have to have both a BCI and an FBI check. And so you attest to this. And basically, you're just saying that you already went through with your background check. And it shows that your attestation was accepted. You'll see under here it says attestation complete. That's how you know that you selected the attestation button. And then also you will know by seeing this maroon color box. It shows now remove attestation, which also tells you that you selected, that you attest to that background check. And then the last section of the attachments is the E-based Academy certificates of completion. So I'm going to add my attachments. Again, I'm going to use my lovely high document out of convenience sake. Okay, so my document has attached, and now I'm going to save and continue. Give it a moment for it to think. Okay, it says please. All right, so now here's some errors here again. Application review. So I have to answer the questions. So I do have to provide, I apologize, I do have to describe my recovery journey below. And so it can be as long or as short as you want it to be. It's what you are comfortable with. Give it a moment for it to load. And I'm going to save and continue. And that box where the question section in the little gray box should change. Let's see, save and continue. All right, so now we have another error. So the personal information. So anytime when you have an error, that's what I meant to mention, you can select where it shows application review. Okay, so check this off, save as public. That's what I meant to say. So when it comes to the licensed public address, not only do you check off public, but you have to select save as public as well. So it shows it's successful. Save and continue. Okay, save and continue. Okay. Save and continue again. Uh-oh. Okay. Save and continue. All right, so as you can see in my grayish colored bar, I've done the required things that I needed to do. So you can see the personal information in the background, it doesn't show a full green circle because we have to review that information on the back end. So that's why you see that these green circles are not complete. But you do see under application review that it's been completed. And And so then you see that the application review is completed, and then you have to do the attestation. So you hereby affirm that all information given herein is true and complete to the best of your knowledge. And basically you are saying that you understand that you are attesting that you provided this information to the best of your knowledge. And so I'm going to accept. And so please make sure before you sign, if for some reason you decide you want to add your middle initial, and your middle initial is not underneath this highlighted signature, underneath this white box, you will not be able to submit your application. So you need to type your name as you did when you initially started the application process. Okay, so I'm going to submit, and then it should take me to another screen which shows the total cost of the certification. And give it a moment to think. Okay, so as you can see, it says Candace Bell's card. You see that my card is filled with my license and that the amount is $3.50. So you have to check off this little checkbox where it shows license fee before you can proceed to the next section. So you see the total due, and then you see this blue continue box. So I'm going to select continue. Okay. And then it shows my cart again, and then it shows the total amount. And now I'm in the checkout section, and then I click continue to get to the confirmation section. Okay, so you'll see my confirmation section. And so I'm going to do credit card in this section. So here you see my card, see the central payment portal, you see e-license system transaction fee, which is $3.50. And I am going to provide my credit card information. Security code. And let's make a rule. And then you put down your email address. So in this case, I am going to use the email address that I registered with. And I'm going to select continue. No thanks, I don't want to save that information. Oh, my telephone number. Let's select continue. And you see all the payment information, address, and things are written. So I'm going to confirm. And so as you can see, it says, please wait while your payment is being processed, and that it may take a few minutes. So this is what is shown in our end. And so it says, do not click the browser back button and submit another payment. And so what will happen is if you do select the back button and you put in a different debit card or the same debit card number, it's going to cause multiple payments, and you do not want those issues. If your payment is processing can be delayed, so please allow 24 hours for our system to register that. And also to confirm that your payment was processed, you could check back at any time. If you do need help with the e-license system, this is the support desk at 855-405-5514. So that is it for the initial e-license walkthrough for a peer recovery certification license. So thank you, and I hope everyone has a great day. Bye-bye.